this is the part we're going to shift because we could be on here for so long. We're going to do another part. We're just getting started, bro. Yeah. I want you to tell them a little bit about because you're going to probably be starting a podcast. Mm-hmm. I mean, you'd be silly not to. You're well-spoken, very smart, good-looking guy. Why wouldn't you, right? You know what I mean? Keep going. Yeah, he likes to say, hey, I'm all about building people up. You know what I mean? But truths. I won't lie. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, hey, she's really nice. You know what I mean? Like,
remember we were listening to that sermon today, and it was saying one of the 3 C's or 4 C's was you're not supposed to edify yourself. You know, it comes off very arrogant.
Oh, it said let other people build you up.
That's right. Let somebody else build you up. Yeah, you should never build yourself up.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the compliment.
No, man, yeah.
And I've been following you guys. I'm new to social media.
Right, yeah.
I've never used it in business or personal. So you guys' story touched me right away. I started following it, and here we are.
I don't believe in stuff like that too. And God, man, without Jesus, I'd be dead. You know what I mean? Without Jesus in my life, I'd be dead in prison. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be here. So, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. And, I don't take anything of what he done for me on the cross when he died. But sometimes he'll give you the shovel and you got to dig a hole. You know what I mean? 100%. And so our story, when we first started this podcast, I was like, all right, I've printed out all these papers, like we're gonna hit these 6 points, and then I'm gonna throw some of this in here in this scripture.
It never goes that way.
Because I had watched so many podcasts,
rip it up and get on there and start speaking from the heart. Let God do this.
Yeah, I had watched so many podcasts, and nothing against those that do it. That works good for them, But for us, I'm like, I can't go. Let's just, if we get on it and we share something like that, good. If not, let's just get on and talk about our life and what's going on. And it seems to really be working, and people are liking it, and it's growing. So you're going to be doing a podcast, but I want you to share a little bit. We'll share about what you're going to be doing with the mental health, and then I want to go into the last,
the big C.
The big C, what you went through. Right. Yeah. So tell about what your new endeavor is going to be and what you're doing. And
so, after being, I've been an entrepreneur since the United States Navy. I've only worked for the government. Yeah. And then, I started my first business in my mid-20s working as a financial advisor, and then started my construction company down here in 2005. So,
wow.
After this whole storm that I was put through and able to be blessed and come out the other side a better version of myself, much more compassionate and kind. I was like, what do I want to do? I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't really, and I'm a sales guy. I don't know shit about construction. Right. I just started a construction company because I go get contracts and find guys to do it. Yeah. So I'm a relationship builder.
Yeah.
Right.
Not a salesperson. And from all the good therapy that I never believed in and avoided, and that
it'll
I got
change your life,
year,
won't it?
did.
Yeah.
Jahnna, it did. And I said, that's what I want to do. So I looked up the top 3 schools. I'm like Billy Madison. I'm going back to college.
Yeah, right. Hey, so are we, bro. Yeah. So are we for marriage degrees and certifications. Like,
you're never too old.
Me, bro. I'm going back to.
I love Lou Holtz, the coach of Notre Dame. And he says often, you're like, we're like flowers. We're growing or we're dying.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
That's so good.
Yeah, and you can, when you stop learning, you stop growing. You stop dying when you stop learning. And that's in relationship building. That's in being a parent.
That's in everything.
That's in every relationship. Yeah. And, I try to bring it into my family. When I stop learning how to, I'm working on now, like taking a course on how to, be restrained in my vocabulary. Because why? I come from a place where, bro, I'm going to tell you what I think of you. Wrong or indifferent, I got something to say,
I'm big on scripture.
Yeah.
And the Bible says that the tongue is the most ruthless muscle.
That was one of our scriptures we had because it can build.
So true.
Either you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. You're doing one of the.
And we grew up as kids, especially in the 80s. Singing the song "Sticks and Stones
may break my bones,
but words don't hurt me." Words are power.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather you just come up and punch me in the mouth than berate me and beat me down.
Yeah, you can't take
we always
that back.
say that we're sticks and stones people. You know what I mean? Like the words will kill you, man. We're sticks and stones people, and that's cool that you say that. So you're going to be doing you're going back to school.
So I applied to a bunch of schools and was so blessed to get accepted into Northwestern out of Chicago, which I have a lot of reverence for, being a Midwest guy.
Well, obviously.
So I got accepted into their master's program.
That's awesome.
In mental health counseling.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's an accelerated one. I don't have to wait 3 years. It's a year and a half. So it's going to be
Wow.
full time.
They crunch it.
Yeah, and then I'll have my license. And if somebody would have told me even 6 months ago when I was going to, just planned on opening up, an office up in Chicago and then down here to do mental health and see patients one-on-one, they'd have said, you're going to speak to people in podcasts and at live events and churches and corporations. And it's happening.
Quick.
Yeah. So one of the foundations that I'm going to talk about here and then that I'm promoting today for an event we have here in Baker Park in Naples on Sunday is I just was telling my story to some of the board members over a holiday party, and they just said, "Hey, you have a great story. Would you ever come share it?" And I said, "Sure."
Absolutely.
So now I think what's going to happen is I'm going to start my own podcast. So this is my second podcast.
Yeah.
I did one with my boy John Morris.
Right.
Shout out
John Morris.
Yeah, on LinkedIn. He's big on LinkedIn. And we did one, and I was nervous. And I'm like I said, I'm a relationship guy. I've been knocking on doors for 25 years, but I've never sat down in the studio.
It's different.
It is
when
different.
that mic gets on and them headphones get on, you go, "Hey, me too." And I've been recording music, and
but it's all about the host. He was such a good host, like y'all.
Yeah,
we just talked.
Yeah.
At the end, he's like,
You're
"How long do you think we talked?" I was like, "I don't know,
conversation.
half an hour." He's like, "Dude, we've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes."
It don't take long. Look, we're already going on almost 45.
Yeah.
Or not quite. Yeah, but so
It's just a conversation.
So I'm going to be speaking through my podcast, and it's a way where I can touch more people.
Yeah.
Like I'll still do one-on-ones,
Right.
but if I'm in an office and I can see 5 patients a day for an hour, versus this, and I can get in front and I can help men and women, but in particular men, like men who went through a storm and
trauma
in their 40s, like I did.
You got a lot of storms too, man.
Yeah, and then to get hit with a cancer diagnosis. I got
Tell them about the.
So last year,
so you went through a divorce. Not a great divorce either. Not that there's a good one.
A business I built for 15 years that had 50 employees, did work in all 48 states, gone. Gone. And the toughest thing a guy I think can lose is your family or your job, and I lost both of them.
Hey, your self-respect too.
It was my identity.
Yeah,
my whole identity was my career. I built a company from scratch with humble beginnings and sweat equity.
I get that.
Nobody threw my,
No, you built it from the ground up. Yeah.
And then to lose it, the devil started getting in my head. And I was, for so many years, I was like, I'm never going to be happy again. I'm never. And I look at your shirt, I lost hope.
Yeah.
So losing the kids was the worst thing. Losing my stuff, my $1 million home, my country club lifestyle, that was horrible because people from money. I know a lot of them, and then they go on to do bigger things. When you come from very humble beginnings and then you make it, and then you lose it,
it's the worst.
It stings.
Yeah. It's worse.
I don't know any other.
It's more painful.
Yeah, it's more painful. So the devil was in my head for many years, off and on, and it wasn't until I leaned into my faith. And that's like now I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ every day, man. That's how I start my day. That's how I end my day. And I talk to my bro
all the way,
that's right.
all day long throughout the day.
And that's what it is, man. That's the part where, we said on the last one, and we're going to touch on that. I'm going to have you give an update on Brianna, but our daughter had relapsed on fentanyl. She was doing this again, and God don't always part the Red Seas. But he'll give you the tools to build a boat so you can float through the storm.
100%. I didn't know that about your daughter.
Well, she's doing good. She's in treatment now. But we'll get in that. But so you went through the divorce. You slipped into depression that you didn't know about. Depression.
Lost everything.
And
I never believed in it.
Yeah, you never believed.
And then I started believing real quick.
Yeah, and then you're like, and then you get diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, so
and you're like, and you think you're going through something out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So this time last year, I knew something was wrong. I felt healthy as a horse. Was in great shape. I was sober. And I went in. I played a lot of tennis, and I played with a buddy who's a doctor, and he's like, "You need to go see the GI doc." So I went in for a routine procedure, and I'm waking up from it, and the doctor looks me square in the face. He said, "You have a problem." And I thought, I'd never been in a hospital. I'd never been sick a day in my life.
Wow.
I'd never been under anesthesia. So I think, okay, I'm dreaming still.
Yeah.
I'm like, come again?
Yeah.
He's like, you have a problem. I'm like, well, what's the deal? He's like, you have a mass. And it's pretty large.
Wow.
So I'm still thinking it's not cancer. I'm like, what do you mean a mass? Like not cancer? And he flat out looked me in the eyes and said, yeah, you have cancer.
You have
Wow.
cancer.
And I'm thinking to myself.
So what kind of cancer was it?
So I'm like, we haven't even done pathology. He's like,
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
It's a cancer and it's
knows.
pretty advanced. So I had rectal
Wow.
rectal cancer.
Man.
And I listen, I come from a huge, Italian,
Right.
Irish family, 28 cousins, 14 aunts, uncles, no
Big
cancer.
family. Yeah.
And I'm convinced it was the lifestyle. It was the stress.
Yeah. That's what they say
put
on the
more
Yeah,
stress
I've heard
on
that.
my mind and body in 2 years than I did 46 years combined
Wow.
times 100.
Right.
And so it was advanced. And I said, okay. I was like, are you sure? I said, I feel great. He said, good. It's good that you're in shape because you got a fight ahead of you. So I said, okay, all right, man. What do we do? He's like, well, we're going to send you off for CT scans and see if and where it's spread. So I went off and did my CT scans, and then for the next 48 hours, you're freaking out, you're reading all this stuff, and it's like, all right, I got to get off there and just watch a movie. You watch a movie, halfway through it, you pause. It's like, dude, wait, I have cancer? Like, come on, no way.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call a couple days later, and it's the doc, and he's like, I got good news, I got bad news. Bad news is you do have stage 3 cancer. It's pretty large. The mass is probably like the size of a tennis ball.
Wow.
And I was like, all right, well, what's the good news? He's like, well, your adenocarcinoma can be defined as the cells being well differentiated or poorly or intermediate.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was like, what are mine? He's like, well. I was like, is that good? He's like, yeah, that means they haven't spread.
Wow.
From what we can see. You have
Right.
some markers here and there because a lot of times colorectal,
Yeah.
it spreads to the lungs
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
or the
yeah.
liver or the brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're fighting. So I could, I was so blessed. I did radiation, begged. I didn't want to do chemo. If it
Right.
didn't spread, why I have to do
Why am I
chemo?
gonna do it? Right.
They, I didn't want to go against doctor's orders. So I did 2 treatments of 8, and then I said, I'm done.
Right.
Like I'm
I'm
not,
out.
because I woke up one night and I'd leave, go do my treatment every 2 weeks and leave with a pump for a slow drip. And I woke up like 2 a.m. I thought I was dying.
Mm-mm.
And they said, you can, it's poison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a
You can go
It
into
is,
cardiac
bro.
arrest. So I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So I was just so blessed by, and God had to get my attention. I'm stubborn. I'm
Midwest
a
boy.
river boy.
Yeah,
I'm
Midwest.
stubborn.
Yep,
So
like
he
we
had to
all
like
are.
really
That's
yank
right.
me, and deal with me in my mess for a couple years. But, and here's what's crazy. When I was dealing with my 3 8-month-long depressions, I swear there was times, many, many times, where I couldn't pull the trigger, and I would ask God. I said, "Just give me cancer.
Yeah.
Give me cancer, God." I prayed for it.
Right.
I prayed
Yeah,
for
take
it
me out.
because I couldn't take my own life because I couldn't leave that legacy for my kids, and I didn't
Right.
want to meet my maker. And I think my maker is a compassionate person, and people who do that, they're still with them. But
Right.
I wasn't going to find out. So I would pray for cancer, and lo and behold, he gave me
Right.
cancer. But he had enough grace and compassion to not let it spread.
Right.
And now it's part of my story. If
Yeah.
somebody would have said 5 years ago, Dave, that you're going to be talking about being a cancer survivor, you're going to be talking about depressions, you're going to be talking about abusing alcohol
right.
during, I'd have been like, you're out of your effing mind. That's
Right.
not me. I'm
Right.
not like, I don't go to a rehab. Losers are at rehab.
Yeah. So,
I went to rehabs.
right.
Me
And,
too.
and there were guys, attorneys, professional guys like me, and there was guys off the streets
Yeah.
and girls.
It's no
and we all
respecter of
had the
person.
same
No.
thing in common.
That's right.
And they were some of the smartest people I know
Yeah.
because
That's
you're
right.
smart
Yeah.
enough to think you can beat your addiction.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's no
But the one
it's no
thing we all had
respecter
in
of
common
person.
is we thought we were smart enough to beat our addiction.
That's right.
So
No respecter of person.
it's just through the grace of God that I'm sitting here right now and able to share my story. And
Wow.
this is therapy for me.
Yeah. Us
If
too.
there's one
Yeah.
person out there
Us too,
that's
man.
going through that storm and saying, hey, man, I can relate. It's like, bro, I've been there, man.
Us too.
That's
I don't
why
like to
we're
talk
here.
about it, but I had the gun in my head
That's-
many nights. Many nights. I was there, not for a week or a month, but for years.
Right.
And that ain't me.
No.
Yeah.
That's not me. I'm a positive guy, but
Well,
You were hopeless.
and none of that's you. And when I say that, the money doesn't define you. The stuff didn't define you. Your marriage didn't define you. What defines you is God and how He sees you.
100%.
And that's the story. And you know this. It's all about the story you tell yourself, man. It's all about the 6-inch piece of real estate between your ears, and that's what you're doing. That's what your whole thing is going to be, to talk on mental illness. And I'm telling you, I'm going to have a link for his socials below, but you better stay on and watch. He's going to be doing a podcast, and it's going to be great. It's going to help a lot of people. Now, tell about the event. Now I want you to give, and then I need you to get me all the stuff as we'll get there, but tell about where it's at, what you're doing, just everything. Look at the camera and tell it.
So when I got done with my treatment and, I lost everything in my divorce, I walked away from everything. I said, take it all. So, financially getting back on my feet, starting from scratch at 49 years old, when I had a very charmed lifestyle. There's a foundation in Naples that's called CAN, C-A-N, Cancer Alliance Network of Southwest Florida. And those folks are amazing, man. When I was at Moffitt Cancer Center after one of my surgeries, a social worker came in and I was like, what do I need a social worker for? She's like, there's stuff out there for people. So I feel about the applications. They helped me financially. It meant the world for what they did. And I went to a holiday party there last Christmas and just started shooting the breeze and met one of the directors, Michelle, who's like my best friend now. And I just shared my story and she said, man, you have a compelling story. Would you come ever share that? And I was like, I've never done public speaking, but sure. So now I'm speaking with them.
Wow.
And they're not a medical cancer foundation. They do financial help because I'm blessed. I mean, my $1 million bill was all paid for from the government from Moffitt. Because Moffitt's like the Ritz-Carlton. There's valet parking up there. So, but a lot of families and warriors battling cancer, they don't have financial means. Yeah. And they can't work. And this foundation helps them with food cards, gas cards, painting house. Like they touch my life in so many ways. Yeah.
That's right.
So they teamed up with a Joel, who is becoming a quick friend too. And Joel's a retired dermatologist here in Naples who lost his wife to breast cancer when they had young girls. And one of the things that resonated with Joel and he wanted to start doing God's work is one morning, Jane, who'd had a rough night the night before with chemo, they were sitting on the line and she said, we're so blessed. We're so fortunate. He's thinking, how are you saying that? And
it's her perspective.
I'm losing you. We got two young girls. Right. And she said, we have family, we have friends, and we have money. We have financial resources. There's a lot of people that don't. And he went and did yoga later, and he said it just changed everything. And so
it was all her perspective.
Yeah. So Joel's the part of the yoga part. So it's an event we do called Yoga Can.
Hey,
what?
I lost 120 pounds doing DDPY. You know what that is? Bro. DDPY is Diamond Dallas Page is? Yeah. His yoga. Oh, well, it's not your mama's yoga, but that's what it's called. But
it changed our lives.
I love Diamond Dallas.
I talked to him. He texted me back yesterday. I texted him and sent him a thing I was working out. He's just an awesome guy, him and Paige. But
he's a Texas boy, right?
No, he's from Jersey.
Jersey.
He lives in Atlanta now. Now they got a place, but we started doing his yoga, his form of yoga. It's like calisthenics. Changed my life, man.
Oh, it's so good.
So anyway, what is the event and where is it at?
Yeah, so the event's going to be at Baker Park, which is downtown Naples. Beautiful, beautiful park. And there's families. It's yoga for any levels. Like kids are coming with tents set up. Awesome. It's from 9 to 12. And all benefits go to help warriors and their families battling cancer in Southwest Florida. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, Sunday. Awesome. And I'm going to get there and share my story.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
That is so cool.
Dude. So you better get down there. The details are on this reel. It's this Sunday. Get down there. Don't miss it. Give back. Plus you can do some yoga. I know about it. I'm telling you, big fella can do it.
Don't start doing the downward dog.
Yeah, down dog.
Oh, we can do it.
Oh, I can do it. I can do all of it,
Hold
man.
it.
Yep. But no, that's awesome, bro. Well, thanks for coming on here, man, with us. And like I said, we crunched a lot into it. There's a lot. This will be in pieces too, so people, they don't get it all in. But man, just a P-Town boy. That's crazy to me. And it's crazy
it's
how
God's work. I mean, I didn't plan on coming in here and seeing you today.
No, yeah.
Like I came in here to see the 239 boys.
Yeah, and it was in there, and then
like see you, and then here we are.
I'm like, hey man, get on. Actually, my wife said we should get him on.
I was like, put him on.
Put him on. So baby,
I knew I liked you.
Yeah, buddy.
There's nothing by chance.
Nothing happened. This is all God. This is actually, and she'll tell you. And I don't say this to everybody, but this is ordained for us to link up.
Yeah.
I mean, two Midwest boys. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is like I've been following you guys. I had no idea you were in here.
Yeah.
So I came to see the 239 guys to because I just met those guys too.
Yeah.
Like all of this is like happening.
It's all a family.
Real quick.
And for this all to be happening by coincidence and chance
Nah,
There's no way.
don't
No
happen that
way.
way. And this is the place
No.
too. If you want to start a podcast, your story starts here back there on
Yes.
Bob. You do it. You know how it is. Flyfit tees, Nevin eyewear, old school energy, clean calls. 50% of the net profits go to drug recovery,
Right.
which we love them. So all you people that have been asking, are you not drinking clean calls?
Oh,
No,
yes,
clean
we
calls
are.
for life. It's a yerba mate. This old school is a more energy drink for your
A gym
energy drink
workout.
people who don't like the organic or the yerba mate. The old school is amazing and healthy, and it's got real sugar in it and a bunch of good ingredients on it. Just awesome. And old school's been liking our stuff and following
Supporting.
and supporting us. So hey, I've drank, well, Jackson, my son's drank a lot of them. I've drank every time I go to the gym, I've slammed one of these, and I've had some good last 2-3 good workouts.
Yes.
But baby, I want you to update our listeners and our followers. Our last podcast, Bigger Boat, has been getting a lot of plays.
Yeah.
A lot of people reaching out that have watched it because we talked about our daughter Brianna relapsing. That's been almost 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
And I know we're getting down on time, but give an update where Brianna and Mike is, her boyfriend, and what happened, because the last thing you were talking was we got up and said you're going to the church and you're going. So tell
Non-negotiable.
how
Let's
they're
go.
doing now.
Yeah. So Bree and Mike are doing fabulous. They're at the Dream Center at
New Life
New
Dream
Life
Center.
Dream Center, which is in Fort Myers, Florida. They have a men's center and a women's center. But our dear friends, Pastor and Michelle
Pastor
Gasper,
Gasper.
Anastasi, they run it. But it's just an amazing program, and I'm so grateful. I'm trying not to cry because
You can cry.
it's been a journey.
Yeah. It's been a journey.
It'll make me cry.
Yeah.
know.
It's
I
been
mean,
a
it's-
journey.
that's-
She was overdosing 2 and 3 times and dying on fentanyl.
Shooting up
And
fentanyl.
Mike, her boyfriend, good kid, just a broken kid, war vet.
War vet.
But
Yeah.
he's seen some stuff over there, man. And it's crazy. He said, I haven't even told her, and he started opening up to me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I go, Mike, listen, you're a good kid. I know it's not the drugs, it's the underlying condition, man.
It's the heart.
And you know, it took a little bit. He sat there in church and hugged me and said, hey, thanks, Doe, for bringing us and doing this. Because the day before was eventful to try to get them to go to treatment, bro. Picking them up at the trap house, no club. It was crazy. And they've been in there now.
And I
for-
was just hoping, man, because we picked them up and they were just, it just broke my heart.
Well,
you
it's
know?
amazing that they want to go, because as somebody who, you know, again, I never believed in treatment. I thought everybody there was a loser, and
Yeah.
I met some of the most amazing people at treatment centers, and
Absolutely.
but you got to want it.
Yeah, you have
Well,
to want it.
that was the
That's
key,
it.
and that was when I talked to Pastor Gasper. He's like, "Well, they got to want it, and tell them to call." Anyway, they went there. They've been in there
3 weeks.
3 weeks now, both doing good. We seen church. We didn't go to church there on last Sunday, but we seen on the video where you could see, you know, church online. Mike was up front
Saw
down
Michael.
there where they were praising
Man,
it.
it just
Just
touched me.
awesome for us. So that's an update on our daughter. I know the last podcast, a lot of people reached out and
Mm-hmm.
said they're praying for us, and we get real on here. You know, it's not always rainbows and sunshine. This is a real podcast.
Real life.
With that being said, we are going to be booking up summer dates. We're only taking selective dates because we got a lot of stuff planned with the kids and the family.
Babies
but we've
coming.
almost got we got a new granddaughter coming. I can't wait. And Ashley sent little Eva.
Oh, she's so
at the
cute.
swimming pool. My new little granddaughter
Oh, she's
is
so pretty.
strong and she's talking. She's probably gonna be riding a bike next week.
Yeah,
I
she's
mean,
awesome.
she's like, man, and she's what now? How many months now? Is she
She
4?
was born in January.
February, March, April.
March.
Yeah,
So
3.
she's almost
3 months.
3.
Yeah, almost 3 months. And
She's
let me tell you,
talking.
she's strong and talking, man. And Ashley was like that. Don't know what she's strong. She was strong-willed. She still is. But you know,
Again,
look-
it's that Illinois River water.
yeah, well, yeah, and
Yes.
she's a Pekin girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ashley went to
It's
Pekin
that-
High School.
it's
She
that
was-
river water.
Yeah,
That's
but but you know, she's so cute. And Jared and Ashley,
Precious.
just Jared, just a great dad. You can
Yes.
tell. You know what I mean?
He
He's
is
just
hands-on.
He's hands on. Just we got to go up there and see her and spend some time. It was awesome.
And they both look so good. They're
Yeah, they look
happy.
good. I'm very proud of them. And then, but Adriana and Max and Chris, my 2 employees, are holding it down, moving pool tables, so I can do this and be out. And they're doing great. I'm proud of them. A1 Billiards and Mr. Slates is what we do.
Yep.
A thing. But Max and Adriana got another little grandbaby girl coming. We're super excited, and they moved out by us. So, it's gonna be awesome. So with that being said, we're booking dates.
I got one more shout out.
Never mind. Go ahead, baby. Shout it out. I give her the microphone. She gives it back. No, it's good. Yeah.
Shout out to Ethan and T.
Oh yeah,
so
I was
proud
getting
of you
to
guys.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
Ethan and T
Got
in
their
New
first
York got their
house,
first house.
Long Island.
Yeah, really proud of them. Just two hard workers, great kids. Really, man, all our kids are good, man. I mean, I'm grateful. I sometimes when I get teary eyed, I've got older kids that the relationships haven't been restored, and unfortunately, once you get to a certain age and they get to a certain age, it's up to them. You can't pick them up and go to Chuck E. Cheese no more. They're an adult and more successful than me in a lot of ways. And I pray God fixes that relationship, but I can't make my relationship suffer of my kids that are in my life or my grandkids. And I'm trying to build back and leave this legacy. So with that being said, we're proud of the kids are doing great. Jackson, Nevaeh, Elijah, all honor roll students. Except Elijah's got a D, but he's bringing it up, so he'll make the honor roll. He's got to turn in some assignments. Going to be in his Beauty and the Beast play. He's got a major role, which I've been known to be an actor time too back in the day. There's a couple plays in the District 150.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Shine.
But I was saying that we're booking up for summer dates. We're only taking selected dates. In May, we're going to be out in Texas for a week. Going to be on the Recovery Vow podcast at the XO Marriage Place and do a couple workshop classes there. And then June is almost already booked up. Like we booked up like in one day, 2 days. We booked up on the other coast doing a lot of recovery churches. Shout out over there. And then there's some people reaching out. So if you want to book Relentless Hope to come and speak or do our thing, reach out because there's only going to be selective dates. I'm not going to be a guy who has to take, if my wife and I can't travel or I can't take my kids, then we don't do it, So
it's a package deal.
That's right. Well, yeah, and buddy, we bring it. And also April 17th, 7 p.m., Recovery Church in Cape Coral. April 18th, 7 p.m. at my boy John Huffman's Harvest Recovery. Don't miss it. And then the 22nd in Sarasota at the Recovery Church. All this month. Mark those dates down. Hats off to my boy JT from Little League, P-Town boy.
So glad we got
Illinois boy. You see the Illinois tattoo.
Illinois, baby.
My beautiful wife. She didn't talk too much.
I was listening.
She sat there and looked. Hit that beautiful savage on me. Take me out there. Oh. What is she? Listen what she is now. Yeah. And Tim is a beautiful. D-Money, we love you. Dude. We're out of here. They got people kicking us out. There's some guy over there going to beat me up. I got to go. We love you. Relentless Hope out.
Peace.